Dear students, in the third video, let us now look how to record the transactions starting from the transaction number 16 into our SOS Private Limited Company. Today, I will be starting from the activities number 16 and will be recording all the transactions to complete the full discussion of SOS Private Limited transaction entering into the system. As you can see, the transaction number 16 says, on the 20th of April 2018, the company sold following goods to the Isuru trade on the credit basis and the invoice number is 202. 15% VAT rate was applicable to the items, and also you can see the price level is a wholesale, quantities we sold and the items we sold to the Isuru trade. To do that, we will go back to our invoicing option under the customer module, invoicing option, and open a new invoice. Then we have to select our supplier, our customer. Our customer is going to be Isuru trade, so we will open up the Isuru trade details. And then very important is the date. Date is the transaction date on the 20th of April. So we will check the date, enter the date, and the invoice number is another most important activity to be entered. That is invoice number 202. Then the items which are sold to the customer, we can select from the item list papaya and mixed fruit. You can go to the item list, select the papaya and also select the mixed fruit as an item. Each of these items we have sold the quantities 2000 each. So we can enter the quantity 2000 bottles for the fruit drinks, for the papaya, and also 2000 bottles to the mixed fruit drinks. And also make sure that your unit price need to be the wholesale price. So currently it is retail, you select the wholesale price. For the second item also wholesale price, because both items are going with the wholesale price, and it says finally 15% VAT also applicable. So we have to make sure that we attach the 15% VAT. So altogether total invoice value going to be 204,700. If you look at the journal entry, all the transaction goes to the fruit drink business and everything is recorded perfectly into the appropriate account as well. So you can update the records by clicking the save command, and sometimes you will get this message where the credit limit are exceeded, but we can always ignore that by clicking yes command. So the next transaction is the transaction number 17. On the 25th of April 2018, the company sold the following goods to the Nanasa Institute on cash basis. Again, the invoice is given 203. 15% VAT rate was applied on the sales. The total amount was received by the check on the same day, 675,654, and it was deposited into the BOC account on the same day. Deposit ticket number is 12. So this transaction again we have to do with the same invoicing option. So we'll go back to the invoicing option, sales invoice. Next invoice created to the Nanasa Institute, you select your customer, Nanasa Institute. Then the date of the transaction this time is going to be the 25th of April. Select the date accurately. And the invoice number is correct, 203. Then the items which we need to add up. There are two items, papaya 1000 and mango 1000. So we'll select the items, mix papaya and also mango. And each of these categories we are going to sell 1000 bottles at the rate of wholesale price. Each quantity 1000 bottles and 1000 bottles. Then the price need to check and convert into the wholesale price, because the prices are given under the wholesale price. Then also it says the VAT is applicable, you apply the VAT. So the entire bill is going to be 80,500, which was paid on the same day. The total amount was received by a check. So we can go to the amount paid at sales and then enter the total amount, how much he paid, 80,500, and the check number which was given to us 675,654, and the check was deposited into the bank account. As you can see, BOC, and deposit ticket ID is 12. So we can deposit that into the BOC account, and deposit ticket ID also given 12. Deposit ticket ID is 12. So we can enter the deposit ticket ID. So as you enter everything, then you can click the OK button And then if you go to the journal entry, you can see first of all sales journal, complete in doing the sales activity, then the payment journal, which is a cash receipt journal, which where we receive the money. So at the end, you can see the net due value is going to be 0 because he is paying the entire bill within the given period immediately. So we can save that and update the records. Moving into the transaction number 18, on the 25th of April 2018, Isuru Trade returned 300 papaya bottle, credit note number 3. These bottles has been sold under the invoice number 202. So the items which we are delivered to the Isuru Trade, now they are returning 300 papaya bottles due to the various reasons, and that will be deducted directly from the invoice number 202. To do that, we have to go to the customer module and select the customer returns, credit and returns option, the new return. Then we can select our customer Isuru Trade, and according to the information we know the invoice number, so the returns comes under the invoice number 202, so you can select the invoice number. Then you know papaya bottles we have sold 2000, out of that he is returning 300 bottles, so we can enter the return quantity 300 bottles, and this return is made on the 25th of April, so select the date, and the return note number is going to be credit memo number 3, right? 25th of April, Isuru Trade, credit memo number 3, and 300 bottles of the papaya sold under the invoice number 202 is returned, and also VAT reverse is going to happen for that particular item. And if you look at the journal entries, reverse entries will happen for the particular transaction, so we can save that and update. So the next one is the 19th transaction. On the 25th of April 2018, S&S Bakers paid an advance of 50,000 rupees by check number 43322, in purchasing of 2000 papaya and 3000 mixed fruit bottles in May 2018. Now you can see, according to this story, actually what is important us is we have received the advance payment, but the sales is going to happen in the future. That is not necessary to consider at this moment. So what is required to consider is the advance payment you received on the 25th of April from the S&S Bakers. And further it says S&S Bakers agreed to do the businesses with SOS Private Limited in the future as well. That means we need to create a new customer. This check was deposited into the BOC bank account on the same day with the deposit ticket number 13. Receipt is given R12. Billing address of the SS Bakers is 25 Navala. Contact person is Mr. Ajit, and the telephone number is given. So these informations are provided to make sure that you will be created the new customer, and from him you need to collect the advance payment. So let's look at how to do that. We will go to the customer creation, new customer. Under the customer module, new customer, create the new customer, then click the new customer. First of all, you need to decide the code for the customer. As you can see, S&S is coming at the beginning. S&S we can put, and then we can put 001 code, and then we can enter the other details given to us. So the company name is S&S Bakers. We will take that name as the name of the company or the name of the person. So we can enter here, and further it is given the address of the company 25 Navala. So we can enter that address. Under the contact details address tab, billing address, we can enter that Navala, and also we can see the contact person name is also given. Contact person's name is Mr. Ajit. We can enter his name also under the contact person name, Mr. Ajit. So you cannot enter here. Go to the contact tab and enter the contact name and come back to the general tab. Then finally we have to enter the telephone number. No other information provided. That means all other information is the defaults are applicable. So we have created simply one customer for this purpose, and then you can save and close this window. Then we can go to the receive money option and click the receive money from the customer. Now your customer is available here, S&S Bakers. Select him, and he is going to pay the advance payment or the prepayment to us. Now we can enter, tick onto the prepayment box, and then you can enter the rest of the details. So he is paying on the 25th of April. Date is going to be 25th of April. His check number, given check number we have to consider. His check number is going to be 43322. So that is the check number. So we can enter under the reference. And receipt number, we are given a receipt to the customer. Receipt number is R012. And also the amount he paid is 50,000 rupees. 50,000 rupees, right? And that 50,000 rupees immediately deposit into the BOC account. And the receipt deposit ticket number, as you can see, 13. So it is deposit into the BOC account and deposit ticket number is 13. So we have received the money. Here we can add the description, advance payment. Advance payment by the customer. So it goes to the sales mixed fruit. You can't put that. That goes to the account receivable of the customer. So the new customer, there's no item, it's a prepayment, and that goes to the advance payment account. Amount can be typed here, not in this particular receipt section. You can type the amount here under the same place, right? Again, we will tick on correctly. After entering all this, tick on and then write the description, advance payment. Then you go to the amount column and type there 50,000 rupees. Then it will appear here and the double entry goes to the advance payment, that is the debtors account will be credited and our bank account will be debited. So fantastic, it's correct, and then you save that and update the record. Then we will move on to the transaction number 20. There are several transactions. Checks received from the customers during the month was as follows. So many checks we have received in different dates. Now we have to accept all these things on the date according to the given table. So let's receive the money. So it's a receive money option. Select the receive money option. Then look at the first one, Amarasiri Traders. You select the Amarasiri Traders. And the first date of receiving the money is 5th of April. So change the date to the 5th of April. And the check number you are going to receive from the customer. Here the check number, customer check number. We will enter that under the check number. Then the receipt need to be issued for each and every customer. The first receipt is going to be R001. And also further it says invoice number 50 is fully settled. Invoice number 50 is the first invoice, fully settled. And the bank will be, its depositing bank is not mentioned here. It need to be the BOC bank, most probably, yes. All checks are deposited into the BOC bank, right? So we will be selecting the BOC bank and the receipt number, but it is not deposit on the same day. It's a dated check. You don't have to enter the deposit ticket number. BOC account, and the first payment is received. Journal entry need to be the BOC account is going to be debit 23,000 and the customer account is going to be credit 23,000. So you save and update. Then you select the same Amarasiri Traders second transaction on the same date, 5th of April. A full settlement by the another check number, different check is given. So we can enter that check number. And the receipt number 2 is correct, I believe. Receipt number 2 is correct. And the invoice which is going to settle at the moment, full settlement of S95, 30,000 rupees. Then you can again update your record. It goes to the BOC account, save it and update. Again you select the same customer. Further, the third time he is going to make the payment on 10th of April, full settlement, and the new check number is given. 10th of April payment is made. Change the date to the 10th of April and the new check number. Receipt number 3 is correct and full settlement of S100 invoice. S100 invoice is full settle, 15,000 rupees. Save and update. Again we can select the same. The last payment is Amarasiri Traders. You can see happened on 15th and the new check is given for that purpose as well. So we will enter that. The transaction happening on the 15th of April. The new check number you can enter as a check number. and the receipt number 4 is correct, and the bank is correct, and the last payment is made to which account? 200. Invoice number 200 is paid. So your last invoice fully paid, but it included the discount. Default discounts are applicable. Full settlement, no, so it's automatically default discounts are applicable. Now in this journal entry you can see discount taken account, that is discount expenses account will be debited certain amount of discount, and the customer will debit it after deducting the discount value and credited to the bank account is debited that after deducting the discount, and the customer will credited the entire amount. So the next customer payment is from the Nanasa Institute. So we can select Nanasa. So there are two outstanding invoices which was paid. First one is paid on 16th of April. So we will change the date 16th of April. Full payment to the S105 invoice by giving the check and the receipt number 5. So we can enter that. Receipt number 5 is correctly there. 16th BOC account, and the S105 is the payment made, 18,000 rupees. Save and update. Again, Nanasa Enterprise, one more invoice is outstanding, which was paid on 18th of April. Change the date again, and this time he is given a different check for that purpose. Different check number is given, and receipt number is 6. Full settlement of S111 invoice. So you enter the check number, and 111 invoice is fully paid. 12,000 goes to the BOC account. So the next customer who is making the payment, Bimal Enterprise, on 19, one invoice is paid. So we will select Bimal Enterprise, and there are two outstanding, but he is settling only one invoice. So 19th of April is the settlement date, and then the check number is 454000, and the receipt number 7. Full settlement of S67. Check number, receipt number 7, BOC account, and S67 is fully settled. 26,000 rupees. Save and update. So the next payment coming from the Quality Food Enterprise. Quality Food Enterprise, two checks are paid. So we will select the Quality Food. And outstanding bills are 4. Out of that, 2 is paid. The first payment made on 20th of April. We will select the date. And then the payment check by the check again. Full payment made by the check. Receipt number 8. And S73 is the settlement invoice. So we'll take the check number. BOC account. S73 is the settlement bill. 16,000 rupees paid by them with the check. So we can update. The next payment coming from the same Quality Food company. We will select again the Quality Food. Another payment of invoice. This time paid on 21st of April. We will select the date as the 21st. And the reference number need to be the check number again, given by the customer. And the receipt number 10 this time given to him 21st of April. So the payment made 21st of April, and receipt number need to be changed as 10. Receipt number 10. And the payment made to which invoice? The invoice number 201. This last invoice is paid. Last invoice was paid 201. The invoice he is going to settle on the 21st of April. That is again the full settlement. So the full amount is paid. BOC account 391, and save it. So the last payment coming, payments coming from the Isuru traders. Again, the two payments coming from Isuru traders. We will select the Isuru traders. They are outstanding of 4 invoices, out of which he is paying 2. 22nd April is the payment date, and the check number is given. So we will enter the check number. Full settlement of S89. S89 full settlement. Receipt number 11. And BOC account. S89 is the first invoice, 56,000 received from the Isuru trade. We will save. And again select the Isuru trade. Another payment is coming from him. And the next payment goes on 28th of April. Adjust the calendar again. And the check number 567667. And 202 invoice is paid. Receipt number 13. receipt number 13, 202 invoice is paid. There's a discount as well, portion of the discount applicable to the customer. So you can see the discount account is debit and the customer account is bank account is debited the value we received and the total is deducted from the customer. So save. So we have finished entering the money received from customers. So the next transaction will be the number 21. The details of deposit of the checks of the BOC account during the month was given below. Now the checks what we have received is going to be deposited into the bank one by one. So let's look at how to do that as well. So you can go to the next option, which is called bank deposit, and open up the new bank deposit. Then you select the BOC account and then you can select the check numbers and deposit according to the deposit date and the deposit ticket number. Now the first check you are going to deposit 034567 check. 034, tick onto that, right? Then you look at the date of deposit, 6th of April, deposit ticket number 1. So the number 1 is already there. You tick on that, 6th of April, and the first check to deposit that, just click the save button. So that will be cleared. Then the second deposit, 234500 check, tick on that, and the date of the deposit is going to be the same date. You can see the date is standing there. So we can click the save and complete. Third deposit, 890234 check, 890234 check. This was deposited into the bank BOC account on 11th of April, deposit number 3. 11th of April, ticket number 3, save and update. So the next check is going to be 200-300 check, 200-300 check, deposit on 17th of April, deposit ticket number 5, 17th of April. So adjust it to 17 and deposit ticket number 5 is automatically appearing there. Save and update. Next deposit, check number 324560 is there. And the date of deposit, 17th of April, deposit ticket number 6, same day, number 6, save. Next deposit, 454000, sorry, 345655 on the 20th of April. 655, 20th of April, date is changed and the deposit ticket number is correct, is the number 7, and you can save. So the next one, deposit on the same date, 20th, 454000, deposit ticket number 8. 000, deposit ticket number 8, deposit on the 20th of April. Next deposit, 21st of April, 677 check, deposit ticket number 9. 21st of April and ticket number is 9, we can save that. So the next deposit is going to be 22nd, 234 check, 234 check, 22nd April, deposit ticket number 10, 22nd of April, and save. So the last deposit, that is the last deposit, check number 098 on 23rd of April. 098, 23rd of April is deposited that into the BOC account. So the other check, (23rd April), yes, 2000, and save. So the last deposit is remaining. It is not deposited, still the date is not came, right? So we can keep that as it is, no need to deposit. So that is how to deposit the received check into the bank in a different date. Moving into the 22nd transaction, on the 30th of April 2018, a rent amounting 120,000 was received and deposited into the BOC account. Deposit ticket number 14, receipt number 15, and reference number C20. Again, receive money option need to be used for this purpose, and you open the receive money, and this time you don't have any customer. Under the name you write rent income. Rent income. And then enter the other details. So this rent received by the reference number C020, no check number, reference C020 reference number, And we have given the receipt. Receipt number is R015, and it is deposited into the bank immediately. 14 deposit ticket number. And which account is taken for the deposit? BOC account. So BOC account will be debited, and the value you received is going to be, the description is rent income, and that goes to the rent income account. So make sure you select the appropriate account. You may be having the rent income account. Here the rent income 4,200, and entire value you receive for the rent income is 120,000. Full value, no tax. Enter it. So your double entry need to be rent income account credit and your bank account is debit, right? No tax. Then save and update. So the next transaction, transaction number 23, the depreciation charges for the property, plant and equipment for the month of April 2018 need to be here. 2018 fruit drink business are as follows. The depreciation should be recorded at 30th April 2018. Journal entry number 38. So we have to create the journal entry. Very simply, we have to create. We can close this window. We can go to the main package, go to the banking module, and create the journal entry. And the transaction is made on 30th of April, and the journal entry number is going to be 38. And the debit account, this is depreciation expenses. You can see there are 3 debit account: building depreciation account, motor vehicle depreciation account, and the office equipment depreciation account. All these debit values need to be credited to the appropriate accumulated depreciation account. So let's create the debit side. Monthly depreciation, building depreciation expenses account need to be fine. So we have one single depreciation expenses, right? We don't have separate depreciation account. For the each item, we can see we have depreciation one account here. That's it, no common depreciation account. But the other one is going to the subunit, but this is the main business. You take the depreciation account and enter the monthly depreciation there. Narration. Then, if you don't have the separate depreciation accounts, what you need to do, you have to add the entire value together. So what is the total value is coming here. We can calculate that and get the entire value debited. So we can see the first one is 10,400 and add with that 15,800 and add with that 4,700. So altogether total debit value need to be all 3 assets item 30,900. So which can be entered now into the debit side. 30,900. That is the debit value. Then credited to the individual appropriate depreciation accumulated account. So the accumulated depreciation building account, we can enter the building value 10,400 credit. Then accumulated depreciation, next one, accumulated depreciation, not the subunit, motor vehicles of the main branch, accumulated depreciation motor vehicles 15,800. And finally furniture, accumulated depreciation of office equipment value need to be 4,700. When you enter that, the both side debit and credit is equal. Now you can see 30,900, 30,900. Then we can go ahead with the transaction saving as clicking the save button. So that is the journal entry on regarding the depreciation expenses. Then the 24th transaction, the breakup of salaries for the month of April 2018 of the fruit drink business is presented as follows, only for the fruit drink. The salary should recorded on the 26th of April, journal reference number 37. So another journal entry we have to use on 26th of April, transaction need to be recorded and journal number is 37. And how to record? So the given details. This journal entry need to be memorized for the future use as well. So we will enter the gross salary. So first we will select gross salary need to be debited into the salary expenditure account of the fruit drinks. So let's find that salaries of the fruit drinks. monthly salary. We can enter the narration. Salary payment. So the value is given to us directly, 180,000 rupees. We can enter that into the debit side of that account. Then the payee tax, employees contribution, employees contribution, and everything is given. So we have to now this 180,000 is debited to the salary, and salary payable account need to find whether we have a salary payable account for this purpose. So we don't have salary payable account. In that case, you have to create the salary payable account for this purpose. Let's check our account numbers. Accounts payable, creditors is 2000, accrued expenses 2100, VAT liability 2200. So we can use the code after 2200. So the new account need to be created. 2210 000, it's a food drink, salary payable account. Payable account, the type need to be the other current liability. We can save that, and that account can be taken into the consideration here, salary payable account. And the same amount can be credited there, 180,000. Then we have to calculate the payee tax deduction from the employees. So the payee tax deduction. So how to enter that? Employees account or the salary payable account will be debited. Tax part, salary payable account will be debited. How much the employee tax? 800 rupees. And tax payable account, we need to have a payee tax payable account. Let's say whether we have payee tax payable account, not there. That also we can create new account. 2011, next account, 2011 000, payee tax payable account. Payable account, and the type need to be the other current liabilities. Save that and also get that account, payee tax payable account. And the value need to be credited 800 rupees. Next, EPF contribution by the employees and also employer. Employees contribution need to be deducted from their salaries. So the debit account need to be the salary payable account. Salary payable account. Salary payable account, and the amount need to be debited 14,400, and it need to be credited into the which account? We have to create another payable account, EPF payable account. Let's create another new account, EPF payable. So we can create after the salary payable account, salary payable 2210. So we can create 2211 000 EPF payable account. And also this is going to be the other current liability, as you know. Save that, and then we will select the EPF payable account as a credit account. Value need to be 14,400. Then we go to the next part. It's the salary paid by the employer. That goes to the expenditure account, EPF expenses account, whether we have already available. No, we don't have that. So we can create using the last number here, 9,000. We can take 9,050, or last number is 9,030. We can take a new account, 9,050 000 and EPF expenses account, and the type need to be the expenditure category. Save and get that account here, expenses account, EPF expenses account. That will be the amount which is going to be debited, which is paid by the employer, 21,600. Then the entire thing will be credited to the EPF payable account. We have already created that EPF payable account, 21,600. Finally, the ETF contribution by the employer. Again, we need to have ETF expenses account and ETF payable account. So let's take both account together now. First, we will create the ETF payable account. So the last account number, EPF payable is given like 2211. So we will 2212 and 000 code, and that account will be ETF payable account. And the type need to be the other current liability. Save and new, and then create the expenditure account as well. Last account created with the code number 950, so we can use 960 000, and the name need to be ETF expenses, and the type need to be the expenditure category. Now you have completed all the account. Now we can select first of all the expenditure account, ETF expenses, new account which you have created. Value is given here 5,400, and then we'll take the ETF payable account, and the value will be the same 5,400. Now you have completed entering the transaction. We are asked to memorize this transaction for the future use. A memorize ID will be SAL01. For that, you need to click the copy command button, and then you can see the memorize for the future use. Enter the ID number SAL01, and the description need to be the monthly salary, and then click the save button. Once you save, close that window, and now we process this transaction by clicking the save command. So that will be posted. Then on the 25th transaction, on the 30th of April 2018, rupees 40,000 of cash was deposited into the BOC account, journal entry reference number 14. Cash deposit color, BOC account. So we will go to the journal entry. Now the journal entry, and the transaction date need to be now 30th of April, and the reference number which is given, reference number 40, and the debit account need to be the BOC account, cash deposit, amount deposit into the bank account is 40,000 rupees, debit that. Then go to the credit account, will be the cash in hand account, and credit that 40,000 there in the cash in hand account. So the double entry is correctly entered, save and update. So your next transaction, transaction number 26, on the 30th April 2018, following items were donated to the peoples who are affected by flood. So we are donating several items to the people who are affected with the flood. So it is not related to this journal entries, how we can do the donations. Donation is the deduction of the inventory. So that goes to the inventory adjustment transaction. You go to the inventory module and select the inventory adjustment entry. Now you can select the items. Papaya 1000 bottles. So you select the item code papaya, and the items need to be donations account need to be given 1000 bottles D01, reference number D01. Date of the transaction is 30th of April, and this debit account need to be the donation account. So let's see whether we have a donation account for that purpose. Depreciation, other expenses, given discount. We don't have a donation account created in the system, right? So we can create the next number, 9070 is a new account, donation account. 9070 000 donation account. And its type need to be the expenditure category. Save, and then select that account as a debit account, donation account. And the number of bottles donated, you need to enter this as a -1000. minus 1000 mark. So the reason is donation. You can enter the donations. So you can see the papaya donated 1000 bottles. Donation account is debit and the inventory account is credit. Save that, then go to the second donation, mixed fruit 1000 bottle. We will select the mixed fruit and then the number is correct, date is correct. The only thing we have to select the again donation account and minus 1000 bottles. Reference here donation and save. Last one, mango, item mango, select it and again the reference number correct, date is correct, again change it to the donation account and enter minus 1000 again here also, negative value and donation reason and save. So we have entered 3 donations of 3 different type of items. In the list you can see items are donated with the reference numbers. So the next example is 27, 3 more transactions to complete our work. Then 27th, on the 30th April 2018, the payee tax liability of the month was fully paid, issuing the check BOC, check number 772. So you have write check option. You can use the write check and pay the entire amount of payee tax payable account. So we will look at that now. So to go to that activity, you need to know how much the payee tax liability amount. So you can first go to the list and then go to chart of account and find out your payee tax account, how much you need to pay. So according to the information here, 800 rupees need to be paid as a payee tax payment. So we go to the vendor module, write check option, new check. So you can name here payee tax payment. Payee tax payment amount need to be 800 rupees as you saw it, and the payment made on the given date and the check number. You can enter the check number and then the date of the transaction is the 30th of April. Select the date. From which account you have given the check, from the BOC account, credit account, and the debit account need to be payee tax payable account. Now you can look at the journal entry. Payee tax payable account debited 800 rupees need to be there, not 8,000. 800 rupees. 800 rupees debited to the payee tax account and the bank account is credit 800 rupees by giving the check. So update. Next transaction, on 28th transaction on the 30th April 2018, EPF and ETF payable balances of the month were fully paid, issuing another check. So they both split one. So we have to check the again balances of these two accounts. So if you look at even the early transaction here, from here we can count the total balance. So employer contribution, these 3 items need to be added. So if you are calculating that, you need to pay 14,400 plus 21,600 plus 5,400 split into the each account. 41,400 total balance. So that need to be paid by write a check option. So you can mention here EPF and ETF payments. And the value need to be, entire value need to be 41,400. Your check number need to be the given check number, reference here 700,114, that is the next check number. It's there already. And then you have to split this. As you can see, it is going for the EPF and ETF payments. So split that and then first select the ETF account. ETF is one payment, no? ETF payable account. So how much we need to pay for the ETF according to our early information? If you refer here, 5,400. So you can debit 5,400 into that. And then you can select the EPF payable account. So the balance part, 36,000 going to that account. So 41,000 settling with the 2 accounts, okay it. And if you look at the journal and see, ETF payable account is debited 5,400, EPF payable account is debited 36,000, entire amount is paid by the check 41,000, 400. So perfect transaction. Save and update your ledger. Finally, we have the final transaction 29. On the 30th April 2018, late interest was charged on overdue balance of retail customers for the future fruit drinks business. So late interest charges on the 30th of April. As I told you earlier, when you are charging the late interest, you need to make sure system date need to bring it into the current date. So that means 2018. I have to adjust this and I have to go back to the April, month of April 2018, 30th of April. So our system date and the period need to be the same. Then we can go to the late interest charges. So under the customer module, you can see the financial charges. Now you can go to the masking. You select only the fruit drinks customers, right? So the fruit drink customer. So we can't select here retail, and masking type is given retail. So the fruit drinks business customers, retail customers under the fruit drinks. So we can select the masking retail customers. And the date is correct, click OK. And if you are applying this, you have to say yes. And you are not going to print no, and you want to see that in the screen, click OK. Then any option and click OK. So you can see only one customer will charge with the interest of 4.98 rupees only. So that will be charged. So that is the final transaction. Now if you go to the report and check how many transactions we completed, you can go to the ledger. Trial balance is not necessary. We go to the detailed report and select all option to see everything what we have entered, and then go down and check the number of transactions. If you complete everything correctly, you should have this number of transactions. 63 transactions need to be there. So please see whether you will be able to do all these things while looking into the videos. And then finally you have to take the backup file and upload that backup file into the system according to the instruction given by your examine hall members. So this is what I have to tell you. I have demonstrated everything, how to process the transaction. With that we will conclude the session, and please use all 3 videos and use the handouts and practice it for your understanding and complete that task. I wish you all the best for the final examination. Good luck and all.